Hi, and welcome everyone to today's video. If you guys watched or listened to our last video, we talked a lot about anxiety. Where anxiety comes from, how it develops, and how much our perception of the world around us, how we interpret things, really affects the level of anxiety that we will experience. We talked really in great detail, and so I'd really invite you guys to watch that video or listen to that videos as it was. We got into some real depth when it comes to anxiety. And so today, what we want to do was talk about a few tips that you can start doing if you have anxiety, if you start feeling anxious, things that you can do today, even right now, as we go through this video or through this audio, things you can do to start reducing any levels of anxiety you might be experiencing. And so, Dad, I guess I'll turn time over to you, and let's talk about some things that people can start doing. And you are still on mute.
Sorry about that. At any given time, we can experience anxiety. And anxiety can come if a crisis comes in our life, but it doesn't really last a long time. The problem is when it's anxiety that's psychological. So here's some tips, okay, that we can do. Number one, you can use your body. So when we're excited, it's like if we are trapped inside our mind. So we can direct our body to help us. One of the things that's very effective, it is this trick. We can trick our mind. So because mainly when we are trapped in our mind, it is like if the stories of our life, the memories takes over. In reality, it doesn't take over. We just allow this to happen because we just keep having conversation with memories of the past. So, but nevertheless, that affects our body, and it feels like if we are in this cage, unable to really take control. So, but we can use our body. So, one of the things is things to trick our mind. Do this immediately as soon as you start feeling anxiety. Trying to identify 3 items that you can see that are in front of you and verbally pronounce the name of those items. Let's say if I see a lamp, I will say lamp. If I see a book, I will say book. And then if I see a desk, I'll say desk. And then after that, move your body, move part of your body, move 3 parts of your body. Maybe you want to move your hand. Okay. Maybe you want to move your neck. Okay. Perhaps you want to move your ankle. So do this, and that's just a way to trick the body the mind. I'm sorry. So in that way, the mind doesn't continue bombarding us with these memories of emotions of the past or thoughts, because it's just very uncomfortable to be in that situation. So after you do that, immediately start breathing. This is another part where we activate the sympathetic nerve system. See, when we are under anxiety, the parasympathetic. When we are under anxiety, we activate the sympathetic nerve system, which is actually arousal. It is alert. So in the parasympathetic nerve system, is kind of inhibited. So that's not a good thing, because that means that the entire body starts really going into this moment of discomfort. And if we're not running, like if we were in danger, so we're sitting there or standing up or laying down with these sensations that are so uncomfortable, and now the physiological effects of anxiety. So when you breathe, okay, you actually help your body. So your parasympathetic nerve system start inhibiting the sympathetic activity. So things start kind of leveling up. So you breathe, this way. Okay. So you're gonna take. Don't do very deep breathe. Either it's a panic attack. Do it slowly. Okay, and go like this. If it's panic attack, go slow and exhale. Now, if you're not in a panic attack, but you identify that you have anxiety, So do a little deeper breath. So you're gonna inhale, take about 4 seconds, then hold your breath for about 2 seconds, and then exhale. Do it again, hold it, and exhale. Do it again, hold it, and exhale. So do this between 5 to 10 times. It depends on how bad the anxiety is. So now, next tip. So you're gonna stand up wherever you are. If you are outside, be sure you are standing up, very straight. If you're in your room or any room, stand up straight. And now what you're gonna do is just direct your focus of attention to just one spot in the ceiling, just one spot.
So any spot.
Any spot in the ceiling. So anywhere, but stay there. Okay. If you're outside, do the same. No, maybe one cloud. Just stay there. No, looking at it. So when you do this, you are paying attention to one thing that is away from the mental and emotional feelings that are related to whatever it put you in that situation. So how this is explained? Our body, our nervous system, which is pretty much everywhere in the body. Okay, it has two spots of attention. So there is one, like if I'm walking, my brain has attention in the movements, and it's done through reflexes. Well, I don't have to think about it, but still the brain has attention. And then the next spot could be the attention to the person that's walking with me, and I can talk. So, but focus, the brain doesn't have the ability to focus into two things. So, if my mind is focused on whatever is causing this emotional anxiety, see, at the moment that I put my focus in one spot, okay, then, pretty much I break the connection between these thoughts and ideas that have placed me into the moment that I'm feeling it. Mm-hmm. So that's a very effective technique. You're going to have to really focus, okay? So your mind might want to bring you back into the same thoughts, okay? But what you're going to do, whether this happens when you're breathing, or it happens when you are standing up, focused into a point in the ceiling or the sky, you need to be aware of that. So, and you can talk, to your mind. It's not like it's another person or you have two personalities, just memories. No, you can talk to your mind and say, okay, not now. I'm focusing on this at this moment. Or if you're breathing, since you're going to focus on the sound of the breath and the movement of your chest while you're breathing, and the thoughts that might really want to be there with you. So you can do exactly the same. No, I'm focusing on this right now. And if you do that, something that we are not aware is that that 3 pounds, almost 3 pounds of meat and fat and water, which is what our brain is made of, okay, and proteins and carbs. So that organ, it actually obeys you, okay, obeys to you, whether you believe you have a spirit or a soul, or you are your conscience, but that part of you, it has the ability to lead, the memories of the mind. So this is a really very effective exercise. Here's another one. Let's say you are under anxiety and there is depression and you feel like trapped. There's no way out. I'm gonna have to tell you one thing is, that these thoughts and ideas, they are not really the truth, because as an organ, the brain has a mission. There's a function. One of this is to protect you. So it takes priority protection. So, and then we got parts of the brain where they are functioning to help you. So now, any time that you entertain thoughts that are non-constructive, they're negative, okay, or of any kind, no. So literally, you are building circuitries. All these thoughts that we entertain, the emotions that come with the thoughts, they're going to be recorded. And the brain produces, circuitries like highways, little streets, connecting one neuron with another one. Now, any thought that is related to danger, whether it's, a fantasy, a danger, like my mother-in-law is a witch and is going to burn me on the stake. Okay, so that's a thought. And even though it might be a fantasy that I'm creating because I'm thinking she doesn't love me, she doesn't care for me, she wants my wife to divorce me, and all those thoughts are going to immediately create a circuitry that's going to be connected with this system of fears. Okay, and the brain actually will take that in circuitry and will connect it to a really very fast highway. So that takes priority over anything else. So any type of thoughts that are leaning towards, a negative and they're not constructive is going to be like connected to this fast highway. And this fast highway that the brain has, it has two directions. One is a reflexive, okay, it's quick and spontaneous, no? That's why we raise our voice real quick, or we may react, okay, responding to a certain circumstances in a very quick way, and that's
just like automatic.
It's automatic. So, and the other part is a connection directly to the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that actually does respond to danger. So if I have built this circuitry, it's immediate. You don't even have to choose. This thought is going to be connected to my fear response. It will be automatically. The brain knows that, to you, that's dangerous, because you think your mother-in-law is thinking, talking to your wife to divorce you, and that's danger because you love your wife, you want a family, you work for this, and now even though your mother-in-law might be thinking something else and you are laying down your bed, entertaining thoughts. So you're creating that circuitry, whether it's money, whether it's respect that others may have for me, whether it's, health or fears, any fears that you really put together, it will do that. So that's what it brings eventually, you get exposed to the bills that comes every month and you're afraid of money and you have a bad relationship with money, then your brain immediately will put the stress mechanism. I mean, that can affect you if you don't really know how to deal with it. So anyways, now when it comes to danger, the brain will always magnify the truth. It will always assume, it will filter, that, which means bad news for us if it's not real danger. So I'm going to see it bigger than what it is. Oh my goodness. She never loved me. I mean, we say those things, no? People don't care for me, no? Or we say about our kids, I mean, she's always that way. Okay, or he will never change. She will never change. Those are really the response that comes, from the brain that is designed to protect you. And since the information that I place that being negative or, really it just connect this thing. That's why it's much more easy to respond to negative thoughts in every situation than positive. Okay, because, I mean, love is good, but your brain don't cares about love. Okay, happiness is amazing, but your brain doesn't care about that. I mean, you can be happy, but if you're in danger, we got to protect you. The whole body has to be protected. So that takes priority. See, and it doesn't mean that you are trapped to this condition. because even if you and I have placed ourselves there, because this just don't happen like that. We have placed ourselves there through time. So now here's what you're gonna do. Okay, as another technique. Okay, remember. Okay, number one, use your body. By the other tips. Then now I have to control this information. So my mind is just information. The mind is like a map of all the experiences. There's emotion there from the past. There's thoughts. There is knowledge. There is good and bad things. Okay, and the mind job is only to help you. No, of course, I've been believing that my mother-in-law is a witch and doesn't want me to stay with my wife. That means danger. So now when my mother-in-law shows up at the door, okay, or she's in a party where I'm going, or my wife talks about her, I see her picture, my mind is going to put information that I recorded before, is to consider. Some voices will come up saying, oh, here she is again, and she's going to screw up the day, okay? So that's not just happening now. That's something that it just takes place faster than what you can even think. Okay. So now it's your job to actually direct those thoughts. Because if these thoughts haven't been helping me to anyway, neither to feel good about myself, maybe even affecting my life, because my mother-in-law will be next door to me and she is coming all the time. So if it's creating suffering, I got to change it. So you can actually ask your mind to give you a different information. You can do that anytime. See, the mind is just the memories in the brain. So and now you can conduct it. Okay, that doesn't mean that it's going to give you a better information right away. No, because if I spend 10 years, 5 years, 2 years thinking that my mother-in-law had no really good intention for me, okay, then of course there's going to be a lot of information there, so you can continuously do that. Okay, give me a better information. And if you have another voice coming to you, and you can ask for a better one. Eventually, the mind is going to run out of those, these array thoughts and negative thoughts, and it's going to give you something good. Well, maybe you're going to say after a few intents, after all, she's not really bad. She, helped me to pay the rent 10 years ago. Or she let me use her car when I need it. Or, she raised my wife and she is a wonderful person. So things like this, are being inhibited. These memories that we have, they're good. They are inhibited because, it's so fast that we have this connection and negative thoughts are into the amygdalas in the brain, and then we have this stress response. So you can do that. Okay, and Ulises, you did the practice. We talked about this some time ago. So how was that for you?
It's been really good. Well, what has been surprising is really how fast it works. Just basically asking my brain for a different thoughts, and for a better thought. It's been interesting how like you're. I think we forget that we actually control our brain. Our brain is there for us to use, and so when we do that, I start having a better thoughts, and I'm able to see things I didn't necessarily see before. It was just I think it just surprised me how fast that works.
And to clarify to the audience about this, okay, because I have questions about this before in a forum that I was explaining about this. See, we have to clarify the mind, it is like a machine that has recorded information available to you when you're exposed to any experience. You just have to be exposed. That's it. Okay. And like a machine, you can push a button and then the voices recorded comes up, or the music you want comes up. You just push. Now, when it comes to the mind, you have really no choice in regard to what voices will come up. Okay, because you get exposed to the weather, and then the brain with the memories will pop up, you know, a voice saying it's cold. I mean, we all have that experience, you know? Or if it's hot, it's hot. So now these are only things, memories of the past that comes to help you. Okay, the brain thinks, okay, you have to make a decision. What it means cold. You have to interpret. You have the perception of cold in front of you. Now, what are you going to do with that? So maybe you choose, okay, I'm going to get a jacket. Or maybe you're going to say, wow, I'm going to go and play with the kids out there. Okay. And I'm going to play with the snow. Or maybe you're going to say, okay, this stupid, no, weather. I hate it. No. So that's how it is. Now, if you have said too much of that stupid weather, I hate it, then, I mean, maybe the voice that will come is later on, if you repeat those thoughts after being exposed to the weather, and you have recorded the voice, stupid weather, I hate it. So now it's not going to be like alternative, it's cold, or it couldn't be the voice, but it's going to be also the voice. This is stupid weather, I hate it. So we have to recognize that, okay, as a voice, memories. Now, I can do something about it. Now, I can actually take action and put a jacket, or maybe go in the house and turn the heater and take action. No? Or I can have a conversation with my mind. Now in the present, me right now, okay, talking to this recording information. And this is the foolishness thing that humans do. Okay, I'm talking with this conversation that's called rumination. Okay, I have these dialogues. Oh yeah, it was also cold last week, and it's gonna be cold tomorrow, and this stupid, and the voice keep coming back from the past. Oh yeah, how stupid it is. Why you move here? Oh yeah, why did I move here? And then it comes a voice. It was your father-in-law's fault. Okay, it was the company's fault. And then you go in, and then you move around this incredible conversation that it keeps you turning the stress mechanism, and you feel really, bad. Those things can eventually bring you into being with anxiety, affect your life. You change your biology. There is stress hormones, running with in greater numbers around your bloodstream that will increase inflammatory markers. And what is the result? It's not only physical, it's mental. Because what kind of life is that? No, but you actually cannot really perceive, the choices you have and the opportunity that presents. So that's a good practice. If you do this, I promise you, okay, that things can change. Oh, I remember that some like 20 years ago, I was really going through some of these traumatic, anxiety, and depressed moments. And I approached a friend of mine, okay, who I talk about this. And, he told me something that at that time, I was aware, but, I wasn't really paying much attention. And, due to my interest in neurobiology and all this work of the brain, I put the pieces together. And of course, that's work. I was amazing how in about a few minutes, I was totally out of that depression moment. And I couldn't believe it because, normally, by the way, Ulises, you were little. I was taking one day, because I was so depressed, one of my associates, he was trying to calm me for a few days. He didn't respond. We had some things to take care of. So he was concerned. So he called the police, okay, to go and check on me. And the police knocked on the door, no? and talk to your mom, and your mom, she said, okay, how can we help you? And the police said, well, we got a phone call and from a friend of your husband, which is concerned because it's been over 10 days. There's no phone calls and respond to business. And then my wife came to me. She knew that I was going through this, and she didn't know how to help. She was trying, but this thing comes deeper. You get so much entangled with all these mental conditions and with activities of the mind. And, I was rehearsing all this, having these conversations that were so affecting me. So anyways, my wife came and I barely walked. I didn't want to go anywhere, not the bathroom either. So I went there and I talked to the police and he asked me, he was very nice. He said, such and such friend was concerned. How you doing? And I told him, you know what? I don't know what to do. He said, would you mind if I call a ambulance? We can bring you to a place that can help you. And I did that. I accept. I said, well, I put my car down. They took me there. Okay. And I was there. And by the way, in the time that I was there, this is as I talked to a friend of mine on the phone in the way to the place. And he gave me this, he made me aware of some things. I practiced that. I got to the hospital, filled out the paperwork. And my goodness, a few minutes later, I was okay. And of course, they didn't let me go until for a few hours because, they kind of keep you there thinking that you're probably going to commit suicide or something. But this is a powerful, way to kind of change and shift. Okay. I mean, of course, it's not like, you turn on the light or off and you're totally done and well. I mean, there is things that you have to do. And actually, this is when it was the beginning of a tremendous change. And still, it is a blessing for me to know that the capability that we have, how our brain really designed to help us and how we mess it up by putting information, in the brain like a computer, we put a lot of trash in it and too many applications eventually kind of is not fast enough, okay, and start getting damaged. Unfortunately, we can reverse those conditions. And we have protocols that we have put together. My own personal experience, kind of was one of the things that moved me to trying to put solutions because I know, from the mental state comes our health and everything else, the way how we sleep, the energy we have in the day, and it comes everything else. So we have this program called Connection that it helps people to walk them through. But these are tips for today.
Awesome. I really appreciate you sharing all that. Especially, I didn't know that story. So I really appreciate.
Well, you probably were like, well, it was one day, you were at school, okay, and they took me, you were at school, and your wife came back to pick me up. Because I felt really good, after like, once when I was there, a few minutes later. So I wanted to go out, I couldn't go out, but it was good, that experience. And it made me think how fragile the mind is, but also how much of a internal power it is. And if we will know just only how to reach out to those, and that's what MediPure has been doing. It's been for all these years, been teaching and training and researching and trying to provide the tools and teach people how to implement these tools to improve their life.
Awesome. Well, hopefully these tips help you guys, especially if any of you are feeling with the anxiety, depression. Hopefully this help, and take care.
Thank you.